Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for all the support on the Shadow of the Mad King video. It got tons of likes and a lot of you subbed to the channel because of it, and I really appreciate it. I also got to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube and surpassed 1,000 Twitch followers. That's on itself is a big achievement for me, and I want to thank everyone who helped me reach this goal. I'll make a giveaway video to celebrate this, so stay tuned. Now on this video, I wanted to highlight a lot of things you have to prepare for, and also 3 nice light profession builds that I will use to farm the Shadow of the Mad King Labyrinth farm, also known as Lab farm. You'll hear this a lot. I'll post more builds for the other class weights, but this video is mainly gonna be for light armor classes. But stick around because I'll tell you some important tips. I'll also explain why we do what we do for this farm, so you'll be ready. Don't forget to like the video and sub to the channel if you're new, and also support the content by checking out the video sponsor. Imagine playing Guild Wars 2 or any game you want from your phone anytime and anywhere. This video is sponsored by Awesome. They have a huge update now and it's so much better than before. It's very easy to use and manage. You can download it from the link in the description on your PC and download the phone app and link them together and connect. That's it. It's very easy. You can play your PC games on it and even with sound. And right now with their huge update, it have next generation 4K and 8K support. You can transfer files so quickly with a smooth interactive experience, or use your device as a second screen. Furthermore, they optimize it so it runs so smoothly on weak networks now, and the amazing thing about Awesome that it works on all devices with no brand limitations. It is an app that's trusted by millions worldwide with these high quality features. So check out this highly updated and optimized new version of Awesome remote control on all your devices. Thank you Awesome for sponsoring this video. So last year's Shadow of the Mad King festival got released on the 15th of October, but this year's festival is gonna be earlier because of the next expansion release date on the 28th. It was announced by ArenaNet that it'll be on the 7th of October, that means next week. So before we get to the builds, I'll give you some general tip and guide you on what exactly you need to do first. You'll have to get the auto loot mastery from Central Tyria to make this farm quicker and more efficient, so you have time to work on that. The best way to get some easy Central Tyria mastery points is in sites you find around the core game maps or world bosses. Some bosses around the Silver Wastes map will gonna give you 4 mastery points, and when you kill them all, you're gonna get 1. And there's even some jumping puzzles that give you mastery points. And there are tons of mastery points in Living World Season 1 and 2, and also fractals. For example, at the end of the Silent Surf fractal, when you save the giant and you type /bow to him, and he gonna bow back to you, you're gonna get a mastery point. If you wanna look for some easy mastery points, you can go to the hero panel and scroll to the achievements, choose add mastery point filter, then core masteries or whatever mastery you want to do. It'll give you exactly what masteries you can do and how to get them. Next, you have to hoard every booster you have and not use it till the event comes, because you're gonna have to max out your luck stat to make the farm even better. Also, experience is good for farming spirit shards. The more magic find your character have, the more loot you're gonna get from this farm. It'll double or even triple the amount of bags you get from even killing 1 mob. And the maximum amount of magic find you can reach in the game is 750%. I'll post a video on how to max out your magic find before the event comes, so don't worry about it. Also, the candy corn gobbler gonna be on sale during the festival, and it's gonna give you a lot of boons, including the item booster and the experience booster and the karma and even like armor and movement speed buffs. And it uses the candy corn from the festival, and it's one of the most useful gobblers in the game, so you gotta get it when it comes. Next thing I want to mention is something a lot of people asked about in my previous video: why we should remove our trinkets from the farm. Well, the whole idea of this farm is group effort and sharing loot with each other. And to be able to get this loot, you will actually have to tag mobs with their attacks, even if you deal 5 damage or whatever, it counts. Now, if a squad of over 20 people go around dealing high amount of damage to mobs, you and other people will miss out on tagging a lot of them. So the whole community agrees on removing trinkets from the characters to lower damage and even swapping to only defensive stats like toughness and vitality and healing power, so everyone gets the chance to tag mobs and get tons of loot together. So for this farm, your gear doesn't matter, so it's always better to run defensive stats, gear or even celestial gear, and not run with trinkets at all. Some runes are more useful than others, like the ones that increase your boon duration or movement speed. We'll be running runes of speed on all our gear, and for the relic, almost everyone needs to run relic of speed. This relic will increase your speed by 66% when you have swiftness, which you will have most of the time because of your squad or also your personal boons. So go and buy Relic of Speed right now, because it'll get even more expensive when the event comes. The sigils we will use on all of our builds gonna be Sigil of Fire and Sigil of Geomancy or Hydromancy. They do small AoE damage around you or the mobs you hit, good for tagging. So with that out of the way, I won't mention gear or sigils or runes or relics on these builds. I'll just mention weapons and trait lines and important skills. The next thing I want to talk about is why it's a bad idea to just run Herald for this farm. As good as Herald build is, running around not doing anything and just giving boons to allies and getting loot sounds perfect, right? Well, there's a huge problem to this. If everyone is running Herald, who's gonna tag mobs and deal damage? A lot of times Heralds will just get kicked out of squads because there are a ton of them in one map and they aren't doing anything aside from semi-AFK. So you better arm yourself with other builds. Let's start with our first build. Will be for Necromancer, of course. I'm gonna run a Harbinger because Harbinger can give boons to allies, and especially quickness and resistance and resolution boons. And it has straightforward skill system point and click or just spam them to enter you for even more brainless gameplay. And it have a lot of mobility from Shroud to catch up when you are behind. For gear, I decided to go with cheap exotic gear because remember, we aren't supposed to deal tons of damage here. Also to show you that you can actually do this farm with cheap gear from trading posts. We just have to give boons to allies and tag mobs. I found this cheap exotic gear set from trading posts that have 2 defensive stats and some power. Since my ascended gear have condition damage runes on it, and I'll slot 6 runes of speed on it, and they are cheap too. Our weapons of choice gonna be staff for the long range spamming and tagging, also cause now the staff for Necromancer is better than it was thanks to this trait from Blood Magic trait line. It can also give boons and heal too. Our swap weapons gonna be Dagger main hand and Warhorn offhand. Dagger will also be important too, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Warhorn gonna deal AoE damage around us that drain HP, but also give swiftness to you and your allies. So here's our Harbinger build. We go 2-2-2. Elixirs grant protection. This means more boons for our allies. Twisted Medicine, more concentration. That means boon duration. And Deathly Haste. This whenever you are in Shroud, you're gonna give fury and quickness to your allies. Blood Magic for lifesteal and boons from our staff. Also, this one is really important. Taste of Blood. This is a unique buff you get from Dagger. So whenever you use a Dagger skill, like main hand Dagger, not offhand, you're gonna give this buff to your allies, which is kinda like a lifesteal buff, and it's unique. That means no other one around you gonna give it unless they are Necromancer who you are using the same trait. This is gonna assure that you're gonna tag people around you with this Taste of Blood buff. Next is the Vampiric Presence. This is a unique buff too. It's kinda like an aura around you for 5 people. And the Transfusion trait, which turns our staff into a healer staff that can give a lot of boons like Vigor, Regeneration, and Stability, and can be able to heal. The last trait is Death Magic, and because of this trait, Death Nova. When you or one of your minions is downed, create a Poison Nova, like a big poison field, and we aren't using minions, but when we kill an enemy, it's gonna summon a Jagged Horror, which is considered a minion. Our tag is gonna leave out a big AoE poison field all around us. The rest aren't really that important. I also want to talk about this skill, Signet of Vampirism. This is actually a damaging skill. It's gonna deal damage all around us when we are on combat. So let me demonstrate. Right now I am on combat and it's attacking on itself. Do you see this white number around me. That's from the skill, Signet of Vampirism. Just attacking enemies around me and healing me. So it's just there for more tagging. Otherwise, you can just go for the healing elixir. So all we have to do is just tag mobs with our staff all around us. And we can also tag our teammates if we want, give them boons with the staff and heals. Heals don't matter, but yeah, the boons are important. And we can give them boons from our skills. So whenever they kill mobs around us, we're gonna get credit for that kill. But don't spam your skills all at the same time. And whenever you have cooldown on your staff, just swap to your dagger and warhorn. Use 5 for the swiftness. And use your dagger skills for the taste of blood. And don't worry, people who don't have Harbinger, I got you covered. You can swap to Reaper if you want. And use this. And go full shouts, because all of the shots are AoE. And for the boons, you're gonna have to rely on your staff, of course, because a Reaper is very selfish. For people who have core Necro, just swap to curses and go full wells and plague lands for the AoEs. And same with Reaper, you're gonna have to rely on your staff to give boons. That's it for Necro. I'll post the build down below. Next build gonna be Elementalist, and remember we are using the same gear and runes and sigils and relic for all these builds. Our best choice for Elementalist is the Tempest. It's the easiest and least complicated Elementalist spec, and it provides tons of boons and AoE potential, but we are mostly running Tempest because of their overload that has a lot of AoE and can be spammed on short cooldown. Also, it gives allies around us this unique buff, Static Charge, when you are using air overload. As I said before, unique buffs are really good for this kind of farm, where we rely on others to tag mobs for us. Plus, Tempest gives Alacrity, which is a special boon provided by only few builds. Our next unique buff will be given to allies is Soothing Mists, that will heal them every 3 seconds. We are getting a lot of useful boons too from our shouts that are easy to use, just click them. I also went with Healing Shout because of the AoE heal and boons, and Elemental Storm for AoE tag, Aftershock because it's a nice AoE skill that gives Aegis that not a lot of builds give, and also Magnetic Aura. Glyph of Elementals is also decent for AoE tagging, but also survivability. For weapons, we go with Scepter and Warhorn for the AoEs and boons too. Overall, this is a great build for farming the lab, especially if you don't have anything else. Also, Tempest is a Heart of Thorns spec, which is accessible by a lot of people, but if you're free to play, swap Tempest for Arcane and use these skills and Scepter Dagger. You'll still be able to give some boons and also AoE mobs. Next we have Mesmer. We are using the good old Greatsword Mirage build. If you don't know this, Greatsword on Mesmer is a ranged laser weapon, and along with the Mirage mechanic, the Mirage Cloak, it turns this laser attack into multiple lasers to tag mobs whenever you dodge before auto-attacking. This build is less brainless than the other builds, but it works. It is focused on tagging with the auto attacks rather than boons. This is why I went with Spear as a swap weapon, because it has a lot of short cooldown AoEs. In addition to that, we got some AoE from the skills and also teleports to catch up to your squad, and of course the Shatter skills and our clones tagging for us. Necromancer could be decent too because it got boons like Alacrity and Quickness, and also wells to AoE tag mobs. But sadly, core Mesmer is literally one of the worst at tagging, so I won't be running it here. To be honest, I don't recommend running Mesmer for this farm anyway, because you got a lot of other better picks, even if it's free to play. That's it for now. I'll provide you guys with links to these builds down below in the description. Also, I'll make other videos for the rest of the weights. And if you got any questions, let me know. Sub to the channel for more and like this video to help others know this info. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.